Okay, so this is our first session for our software testing, and what I'm doing is I'm recording each and every session so that I will share these recorded sessions once we are done, and you can refer these sessions after the sessions as well. Okay. Now what we will do first we will start with why I need to learn this testing, why this testing is important. If you see in the market right now, everyone is talking about that testing only. Everyone is talking about quality only. See, just if you want to buy something, like say for example, if you want to buy your mobile, and while buying the mobile, what I will do, I will go to the shop and I will check so many models, and also I will check each and every model feature, see that what are all the features available each and every model, and you will see that look and feel of that application, look and feel of that mobile, then only you will buy the device. Agree with me? This is nothing but your testing. What we will do is all this, like verify that features of your application, verify the look and feel of that application is nothing but the testing. This is what we will say that testing under. And why I need testing. So here I am giving you like two practical examples for your testing under. So in 90s, what happened is one company is running some promotion. One company was running some promotion. Okay, and it's a cool drink company. It's happened really. Okay, and like what they said is, they said to the customer, see, whenever if you're finding any bottle cap and which was printed with 349, then like you will be getting so and so award. This is the promo those guys are running. And due to some problem, this is never tested, and during the time there was no testing actually. And then they said that this is the promo, and then this is never tested, and due to some software problem, it is printed 800,000 bottle caps. And because of these small mistakes, you know that company lost $42 billion, because they already announced that promo, so they cannot go back. And then due to some software problem, it printed like 800,000 bottles, and because of that, company paid to the customers $42 billion because of a simple mistake. That's the reason nowadays everyone is talking about that quality. Everyone is talking about the testing. Even if you take personally also, when you are buying something, you are not looking at the price. What you are doing, you are looking at the quality of the product. If the product is quality, customers is not going back, even though that the product is high, expensive also, people still they're ready to buy it, because the thing is it is a good quality. So everyone is expecting good quality nowadays. And this is happened, just imagine, because of this simple mistake, like company lost $42 billion. That's the reason, what they are doing is they included this testing, and they are trying to find out all the issues in your testing phase, so that you will not get these kind of issues in your production in the live environment. So here what will happen is, your developer will develop that application, and once it is done, then it will come to the tester. As a tester, you will cross check each and every functionality feature is implemented as it is. If everything is good, then I will say that yes, we are good to go to the production. And remember one point here, until and unless QA is giving the green signal, application will never go to the production. First you have to give the green signal, then only application will go to the production. As a tester, if I am not giving the green signal, my application will never go to production. Remember this point, right? Fine. Now, one more example also here. This also happened in real time. Like one bank was there, they launched in 2000, and it's a trading bank, It's a trading bank, and first 90 minutes it worked very well, and after that, what happened is, entire system is crashed due to more number of users. That means, right, they expected like some number of 200 users, but actually 400 users are trying to work with that application. This kind of situation, your application is crashed. Crashed in the sense like it's closing automatically, or your application is stuck. So you are not able to work with that application. So this kind of situation, just imagine how much loss happened to that particular bank. It's a huge loss. It's a huge, and that to forget about that loss, and also brand name, right? What will happen? The brand name also will go down. So what you will do, like as a customer, you will say that actually I use that website, but that website is very slow, and I am going to another website. And also you will give this information to your friends, relatives, whatever. Because of that, what is happening? Not only money, they are also losing the new customers also. That is why testing came into picture, and they wanted to find all these issues before going to the production. And nowadays, like they are giving the equal importance to your testing. Like whatever the importance they are giving for the development, they are also giving the same importance for testing as well nowadays. Even budget also, they are allocating equal budget for your testing. Okay, because of these like real-time problems, right? Testing is very important. Testing is very important. Fine. Now, as I said, right, testing is mandatory for any applications nowadays. Without testing, we are not going to production nowadays. And until and unless QA is giving the green signal, the application will never go to production. Okay, fine. And now, what will happen, right? If I'm not doing my testing, what will happen? See, if you're not doing your testing, that means your software will have the poor quality. So nowadays, right, if you're having poor quality, no customer is buying that product. Everyone nowadays, right, everyone looking for the quality, even though it is expensive. See, if the product is expensive also, I don't care, right? As a customer, this is the customer, like right nowadays, the way of thinking, customer way of thinking. What customer is doing is, customer is checking the quality of the product. If the product is quality, they are not looking at the price. Nowadays I'm talking. Okay, even right, just question yourself, if you're trying to buy some product, first what you will do? First you will check the quality of the product. If the quality of the product, if the product is good quality, then okay. If it is even that is expensive also, I don't mind. Let's take it because right, it's having the good quality. Let me give you one example. If you take iPhone, right? iPhone is having the same. iPhone is having some features. Other mobiles also is having the same features. Why people are going with the iPhone? Tell me. Because of that good quality. Right? Even that is expensive, right? But still, I want to go with the iPhone because it is having good quality and good look and feel and good experience, good user experience. That's the reason I want to go with iPhone, even though it is expensive. You got my point. That is why now this testing is becoming very popular nowadays. How you got that good look and feel and good user experience and good features? Because of testing. While doing my testing, I will make sure that this product is having good user experience, good look and feel, good features. Everything should be quality. This will be done and this will be certified by the QA team. Again, right, always what I will do is I will be doing my testing based on the requirement document. That means, right, your client will give the requirements, how he is expecting that applications to develop. Now as a tester, what I will do, I will be testing my application based on the requirements. Going forward, I will show you how the requirement documents looks like, and as a tester, what I will test. I will talk about that. I will talk about that. Just like today, we are just discussing what is testing, nothing else. Okay. If you are not doing your testing, obviously, right, there will be very poor quality. See, if there is no testing, so you cannot expect good quality. Poor quality. That is one thing. And one more thing is, right, this software may be having some issues, right? So if you never test it, what will happen? Right? Maybe some functionality may fail. Functionality may fail. And because of this functionalities, what will happen is it will impact a huge on your business. Now, just now we saw a couple of examples right there. If you observe, right, it's a small thing only. Just right, what is happening is your application is crashing, right? It's an issue, and because of that, there is a huge impact on your business. Not only cost but also brand, right? Your brand also will go down. That is why these days everyone is talking about your software testing only. Okay. Now, okay, you are saying that without software testing, these are the problems. Agree. Now, if I do the software testing, what will happen? If you do your software testing, then you can deliver quality software. You can deliver quality software. What do you mean by quality? See, when you can say that quality, first question, I will say the quality whenever my application is satisfying my user requirements or expectations. That means client is having some expectation. As a client, right, he will set up some expectation. He will give some requirements. This is the requirements I wanted to develop for my application. And once this client is giving that requirements, as a tester, you have to make sure that each and every requirement is implemented as it is. It is implemented as it is. Going forward, I will tell you how the requirement document looks like and what is the requirement. I will tell you. For the time being, what you need to understand is software testing is nothing but here what we are doing is we are checking that whether we are meeting that client requirements or not. So just imagine that, right? I will tell you one simple example here. Now if you want to buy a house, if you want to build a house, when you want to build a house, what you will do? You will give some requirements. Okay, I want my house so and so like this. Okay, you will give your requirements as a client. Now what your builder will do? Builder will develop your application. Builder will develop your house based on your requirement. Now as a tester, what tester will do is tester will check whether this builder has developed your house based on the client expectation. Whatever the expectations you have given, as a tester, I will cross check that everything, all my requirements are properly implemented by my developer, by my builder. So if everything is good, as a tester, what I will do, yes, we are meeting that customer expectation and we are good, and I will certify as a tester. Once it is done, now it will be hand over to you. That is the process everywhere, right? See, everywhere, if you wanted to develop some application, means developer will develop, tester will test it, and he will make sure that your application is developed based on your customer expectations. If it is done, then we will go to the production. Otherwise, I will not give my certificate. Until and unless QA is giving the green signal, application will never go to production. Okay, fine. Fine, okay. You are talking about that software testing. What is software testing? Like just now I told you, software testing is nothing but it is the process of checking whether the software is meeting that requirements or not. Right, just now I gave you that example for your house. When you are building your house, like when you want to build your house, you will give your requirements. As a builder, you will build your house based on your requirement. As a tester, I will go and I will cross check whether all the requirements are properly implemented or not. If there is even one requirement is not matching, I will not agree. I will ask him to modify once again. Okay. So that is your software testing. Okay. So here, right, what we will do is, right, when you say that software testing is applicable for all the applications, whatever may be the application. It can be web application, it can be Windows application, it can be mobile application, it can be web services, wherever you go, right? Now, wherever you go, the thing is, right, software testing is mandatory nowadays. What you have to do is, once it is developed by the developer, as a tester, go to that and see that whether they implemented as per your requirement or not. Okay, fine. Now, when you say that software testing, here what we will do is, right, you can do the software testing either manually or automation. Manually means what I will do, I will go to the application and I will check manually each and every functionality. And also what I will do is, going forward, right, I will take one application and I will show you how to test this application. I'm having one application, and right, we will take this application and we will write the test cases for this application and we will test this application, and I will show you how to test this particular application. Just imagine that you joined one organization as a tester, and those people said that test this application, test this web application. I will tell you how to test this application. I will tell you that. Okay. Here, when you are testing any application, means what you have to do is, you have to test that application both positive and negative. What do you mean by that? See, here, just imagine that, right, you are trying to test this application. When you are trying to test this application, as a tester, think outside of the box, not within the box. See, tester way of thinking should be different from the developer. Think outside of the box, not only within the box. That means, now I want to test this login page. Okay. Then what I can do, I can enter my username is valid and see that whether I am able to log in or not. I'm checking that, and at the same time, okay, if I'm trying to log in with the invalid, what will happen? So you have to think outside of the box, not only within the box, right? So now, okay, if I'm not entering anything, if I click on this, what will happen? This is the way to think. Okay, fine. I will enter some junk values here. What will happen? What will happen to my login? So as a tester, what you have to do is, you have to test your applications, both your positive and negative condition. Positive is nothing but just giving the valid values and check it, what is happening. But negative means, right, you are giving some invalid values and then see that what is happening. That is your negative testing. We will talk about that going forward, what is positive testing and negative testing. For the time being, as a tester, you have to think out of the box, not only within the box. That means if I give you some box, check this box means check the box. Check the box within that box, what is there. At the same time, check the box outside, what is happening. So as a tester, think out of the box. Okay. That means, right, see, when somebody is giving you some application to test it, how many ways I can test it? How many ways I can test it? So each and every possible way I will test in that application. Okay. Fine. Okay. I will talk about this application in detail. I will give the requirement for this application. Once you are giving that, you are getting that requirements, we will talk about that, how to write the test cases for it. And then once it is done, we will talk about that, how to execute that test cases. Those things and all we will discuss. Okay, fine. Let's go back. Okay, now one more thing is, right, whenever if you're talking about your software testing means, right, what we will do in the software testing means, in the software testing what I will do is, as a tester, I will be testing my application, both my positive and negative conditions. Okay, it can be manual or it can be automation. Manual is nothing but you are going to that application and you are testing manually. Whereas automation means, what you can do is you can write some automation programs to test that application. And what is the intention? What we will check here? We will check for your functionality. You can check whether your application functionality, whether it is working correctly or not. Okay, and also you will check the performance also for that particular application. That means you can do your functional testing as well as your performance testing. We will talk about that what is functional testing and all going forward. Just try to understand your testing. See, if you observe this is your testing understanding. That means when you want to test any application, this slide will help you. Testing is nothing but like, right, if somebody is giving some applications to test it, immediately I cannot test it. First what I will do, let's analyze what I'm going to test, right? That means, right, you said that test Gmail application. When you say that test Gmail application, immediately I cannot open Gmail and then start testing. Okay, give me the requirements, what you want me to test. What is the requirements you are expecting in your Gmail? Give me the requirement. So analyze it, first analyze it, what you are going to test, then what you can do is review it, right? That means, okay, you are giving these requirements and you want me to test all these requirements. Okay, let me review all these requirements. Once I'm done, then what I will do is go to that application and then start verifying whether this application is properly implemented, you are getting the proper images, you are getting that proper fields, and you are getting the proper pages and all that. You are checking. Verification is nothing but you are just checking the look and feel. That means if you go to any application, you can see the look and feel, how the application looks to the end user. Verification is nothing but just you are checking the look and feel of that application. Here you are not doing any testing. Validation is the actual testing. Validation is nothing but the actual testing. That means now if I am having a login page, I will give my username and password and see the output. So if I am giving that valid username and password, see the output, what is happening. If I give that invalid username and password, see that what is happening. So you are validating. You are validating by giving some inputs. Give the input and check the output. You are checking the output by providing some inputs. That is called your validation. Okay. And here also testing can be done in two ways. Manual can be done and automation also you can do your testing. Okay, fine. See, one more thing guys, right, if you have any doubt, you can stop me at any point of time. So if you have any doubt, you can also stop me and you can ask me what is like, right, what is this, and then can you give me one more example like this. So you can ask me any questions, you can stop me at any point of time. This is not like one way, right? I'm talking most of the times. However, if you have any doubt, you can stop me and ask me the questions. Next, yes please. Okay, next thing is who will test, right? So every time I'm saying that testing is this one, and then testing means I will test my requirements, I will make sure that all the requirements are covered. Okay, who will test? Next question. Okay, usually right here, if you want to test your application, see, developers also will do some kind of testing and tester will do. But here tester will do, here developer will do a gentle testing. He will not do a proper testing. Just he will do a high level testing. What he will do is just he will make sure that your application is working. That's it. He will not do any proper testing. What is developer job is, developer will develop the application, and what he will do is he will make sure that whether this login page is loading or not. That's it. He will not do any proper testing. Now, as a tester, you have to do the detailed testing. That means test this login page is working with the valid user, test this login page with working with the invalid user. So you have to do your detailed testing. If you observe here, so this is the developer. What developer is doing? Developer is doing a gentle testing. He will not do any detailed testing. Just he will make sure that your application is up and running. That's it. But if you see this tester will test that application like anything. He will try to test that application with each and every possible condition. And as a tester, I will try to break the system by testing with so many conditions, right? That means, right, just imagine that you are sitting in one place and you want to go to your friend place, right? Now, if you are a developer, what you will do is you will go in a straight way. And what you will do is you will go to straight way and you will say that yes, I am done with my job. Now as a tester, now what I will do is I will check how many ways I can reach my friend home. how many ways I can reach. So you have to check with all the possible ways. And then if you are good with all the possible ways, then only you will give your green signal. Got my point? So tester means, right, what he will is he will try to break the system by doing all your possible ways. Okay, that means here in this login page, what developer said is like developer implemented and he said that I'm able to log into the system, I'm good. But as a tester, what I will do, I will check whether I'm able to log into the system with valid username and password. At the same time, I will check with the invalid username and password, and also I will check without entering any details, try to log into the system, see that what is happening. So what I will do is I will check with all the possible ways to test that particular functionality. That is the tester job. Okay, fine. Now, right, this is the common terminology. Like once you join as a tester, you might hear this kind of terminologies, right? So bugs, fault, failure, this is the common terminologies we will use, right, in any job on that. So here, right, what will happen is when you say that error is nothing but like if you're a developer and if you are writing the code, and in your code, if you are having any syntax mistakes, these mistakes are called as errors, right? See, this is not the defect. This is error. Error is nothing but whenever if you are writing the code and in your code, if you are having any mistake in your syntax, then it is called your error. Okay. However, right, for testers, this is the term. This is the term we will use daily n number of times. Defect. Defect is nothing but deviation from the requirement. So some people will say that defect, some people will say that bug. Don't get any confusion. If they are saying that defect or if they are saying that bug, both are same only. Okay. Here, defect is nothing but it's a deviation from the requirement. That means, right, now what is my requirement? My requirement says that login should be successful for the valid user. But when I'm testing, even when I'm entering my invalid username and password, it is allowing me. Then what I will do? It's a deviation from the requirement. What my requirement says that login should be successful for the valid user. But here, it is allowing invalid user also. Then what I will do? I will log this as a defect. I will report this as a defect because it's a deviation from the requirement. Deviation from the requirement. Let me give you one like practical example. So if you are using one of the bank, or if you are testing that bank, now you can add your payee in your account. Now once I added my payee, again I am trying to add the same payee in my account. It is allowing me. Then what I will do? I will log it as a defect because as per my requirement, it should not allow duplicate payees. But during my testing, my application is allowing duplicate payees. Obviously, I will log it as I will report this as a defect. Okay. That is your defect. And as I said, defect and your bug both are same. Like, right, sometimes we will be calling as a defect and sometimes we will be calling it as a defect. Fine. And then project, right? We can hear this term also very commonly. What is project? See, project is nothing but, right, it's a collection of tasks. That means, right, so many teams will be involved here in your project. That's why I said that it's a collection of tasks for which the requirements will be defined by the client. That means just now we talked about that your own house building, right? So that is a project. That means as a client, what you are doing, you are giving your specifications, you are giving your requirements to the builder. Now builder will build your house based on your requirement. That is called project. Project means it's a collection of tasks. What do you mean by collection of tasks? When you are building your house, builder is building the house and your one person is verifying that measurements where everything is good or not, and painter will come, he will paint it according to your requirement. So it's a collection of tasks and in which these requirements are defined by the client. As a client, you are giving your requirements to build your house. That means it's a project. Whereas product means it's a collection of tasks for which the requirements will be defined by the company itself. Right? You can hear, right? Some companies, they will say that it's a product based companies. What do you mean by that? Say for example, HP is a product based company. What do you mean by that? Product based company is nothing but they are not having any clients. They are not having any external clients. So what they will do, they wanted to build one application. For that application, they will create their own requirements and then they will build application. Right? For them, right, there is no client concept there. What they will do is they will be creating their own requirements and then build the application. That's why I said that product is nothing more. It is also collection of tasks for which the requirements will be defined by the company itself. There is no client concept in your product. This is what you are testing. Like testing is nothing but you need to analyze your requirements, review the requirements, and then verify that requirements are properly implemented by your developer and validate whether your requirements are working as expected or not. And also testing means you will be testing either in manual or automation. Manual testing is nothing but once you get the application, go to that application manually and test each and every functionality manually. Automated means you will be writing some programs to test your applications. Okay, fine. And whenever, right, if you say the testing objectives, so slowly I am trying to move to testing. Okay, testing objectives. Okay, what is the objective of my testing? Now when you say that objective of your testing, the very first thing, detect your defect. So here I am doing my testing to find the defects in the software. That is very first thing. So if I'm doing my testing, why I'm doing my testing? I'm doing the testing to find the defects in my software. So whatever the application you are testing, in that application, I will check each and every functionality and I will see that if there are any defects. So here the objective is finding the defects. So do some testing there and find the defects in your application. Okay. And then one more objective here is check whether your specified requirements are meeting the criteria. That means right now I'm testing my application. I wanted to check that whether all the requirements are properly implemented or not. That means client will give the requirements. As a tester, my job is to check that each and every requirement is properly implemented in the application. That is my job. See, end of the day, tester job is take your requirement document and go to the application, go to the developed application. That means your developer will develop the application. Once the application is developed, take this requirement document, go to the application, check each and every requirement. If everything is properly implemented, I'm good. I'm done with my testing. So for that, right, we will write the test cases, we will execute the test cases. That is the process. However, end of the day, my job is to make sure that whether my requirements are properly implemented in my application. That is my job. Okay, fine. And one more thing is, one more testing objective is test the performance. So I want to check that whether the performance of my application is up to mark. That means, right, I want to see, like usually that customers will say that, usually your client will say that I can expect 500 users for my application. Now as a tester, what you will do is, you will go to the application and see your application behavior, how it is behaving for your 500 users. Like this. So you will also check your performance. This is your testing objective. Okay. This is your testing objective. Okay. Now I will start with SDLC. This is called your SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. This is your SDLC. That is nothing but your software development lifecycle. See, to develop any of the application, right? SDLC, which is nothing but software development lifecycle. So here, right, to develop any application, whatever may be the application, to develop any application, one of the SDLC is mandatory. That means, right, we have to use one SDLC model to develop your application for any organization, whatever the organization you are working, wherever you are working. To develop any application, you have to use one of the SDLC model. You are having so many models like waterfall. Nowadays, right, these two models are important. So we will be focusing on these two models only. You are having some other models like V model, right? Some other models also is there, but like, right, what I am doing is I'm focusing on only these first two models, because nowadays all organizations, they are using this either waterfall model or agile model. They are using only these two models. But one model is mandatory to develop your application. Either you can go with the waterfall or you can go with the agile. Okay, before going to the models, right, first let me tell you what are all the phases available in your SDLC model. SDLC models will have 6 phases. 6 phases. First, let me tell you what is SDLC model, what are all the phases are available, and who is responsible for each phase. I will talk about that. Once it is done, then what I will do is I will be talking about that waterfall model, agile model, what is the advantage of your waterfall model, what is the disadvantage of your waterfall model. I will talk about that. Okay, fine. First thing, initial analysis. These are all the different model. These are all the different phases available in your SDLC. Analysis, design, coding, testing, and maintenance. Deployment and maintenance. These are all the different phases for your software development lifecycle. That means if anyone wants to develop any software application, they have to gone through all these phases. It's a mandatory. I will talk about that each and every phase, what is the importance of each and every phase, and also I will give you the responsible person for each and every phase. Once it is done, then we will talk about that waterfall model, what will happen, and agile, what will happen. So in this initial phases, what will happen is your BAs will be involved. What is BA? BA is nothing but business team, business analyst. So here your business analyst team will be involved here, and then what they will do is, right, in this initial, they will gather the requirements. From the client. That means what is the client expectation, what is the client requirements. They will gather the requirements from the client. That is your initial phase. Now once they gather the requirements, they will come up with a document called BRD. Again, right, this name will differ from organization to organization. I am saying that BRD, some people will say that FRD, right? Different naming convention may change. Business requirement document. That means here what this business analyst team will do is they will gather the requirements from the clients and they will create a document called BRD. That is nothing but business requirement document. That means these are all the requirements expected by the user. These are all the requirements given by the user. Now once he is giving the requirements, immediately I cannot start developing. Now what I will do is I will take this BRD as an input, and in the analysis phase what we will do is we will check the feasibility of the requirements, because right, If somebody is giving the requirements, immediately I cannot start my development. First, let me see what is the feasibility. Usually here, right, who will be the responsible persons? Dev manager, QA manager, and your PM and BA. What they will do, right? They will check, right? They will check the feasibility of the requirement. So you are giving me like requirements, 10 requirements, and I want to check the feasibility. What do you mean by feasibility? That means you are checking whether these requirements are achievable or not. What do you mean by achievable? In terms of cost, in terms of resources, in terms of technology, everything they have to check, right? In terms of efforts, that means, right, see, your client is saying that you wanted to develop that application in a month. So if they're saying that in a month, immediately I cannot say no. First, let me check the feasibility. What is the requirements you are expecting? What is the budget you are expecting? Based on the budget, based on the resources, based on the technology. Sometimes your client will say that I want to develop my application in .NET. Maybe, right, .NET is not feasible for that particular requirement. Client don't know because client is not a technical person. So as a technical person, you have to explain him what is the problem and then how to resolve that particular issue. All those things you can talk with him. And then you can say that what is the efforts I'm using. Based on that, you can check the feasibility. You are checking the feasibility of the requirements in terms of cost, resources, technology, and efforts. Okay, fine. So what I will do is I will be checking all these cost, resources, technology, and efforts, and finally I will come up with a document called SRS. It's a detailed document. It's a detailed, right? SRS is a detailed document. It's a software requirement specification. As I said, different people will call differently. I'm saying that SRS, some people will say that FRS, right? So SRS is nothing but it's a software requirement specification and it's a detailed document. See here, it's a BRD is just a requirement document from the client. Then what I will do is here, I will be writing a detailed requirement document, how your application looks like, what is the business rules, or what is the requirement, how your requirement will be implemented in the application. So each and every requirement will be given in detail, SRS. And one more point here you need to highlight is, yes Jyoti, tell me.
Yeah, excuse me. Can you mention here SRS is a detailed document?
Oh, you want, okay.
That's why when we refer that we can.
Yeah, fine. So when you say that, right, this SRS, it's a detailed document for your requirements because it will contain each and every point. And remember one thing, right? See, if your business analyst is good, then you will be getting your proper SRS, and once you get your proper SRS, right, you can do your testing very easily. And let me tell you one thing, SRS is the reference document for both your developers and testers. Now, as a developer, I will just refer my SRS. Whatever is there in the SRS, I will implement as it is. That is my job. And as a tester, I will cross-check the requirements in the application, whatever is there in my requirement, whatever is there in the SRS. SRS is the reference for both your developers as well as testers. And what do you mean by the detailed document? Then you say the detailed document, they will clearly mention, like they will say something like this. See, let me share you one thing. Login will allow valid users. So this is called your business rule. They will say like this, and they will be having, right, what they will do, they will give a screenshot how your login page looks like. Login page looks like. And also they will say like this, username will allow 4 to 12 characters. So this kind of requirements they will include in your requirement document, SRS. So when I say that requirement document, please refer as SRS. So most of the times I will be using this term requirement document. Whenever if I say that requirement document, it is nothing but your SRS. Okay, I will talk about this SRS also in detail. Just right, I am giving just SDLC different phases. So in the SRS we will be having your detailed requirements. Once SRS is ready, it will go to your development team, then they will start designing. So design means, right, the input is SRS, and like usually that this will be done by your tech lead, your dev lead. And dev lead will do this design. Design means here they are not doing any coding here, just they are trying to do a design how they are going to implement the application, what are all the databases they are using, what is that application flow, like it's a kind of flow diagrams. See, let me show you that. So what they will do is they will be come up with some high level plan. That means, right, I will say like this. Now they will, as a tech lead, what I will do is enter valid user. So what I will do is, as a tech lead, I will be giving this password and click on. So here, right, as a tech lead, what I will do is I will be giving you the designs. Okay. Once you click on, once you enter username and password, once you enter your username and password in the login page, click on OK. Then once you enter your username and password, then is valid user. So right, what I'm doing is that I'm like, right, developing this flow diagram so that it is easy while developing that application for any developer. If he's a valid user, right, if he's a valid user, I will give the flow diagrams like this. If it is a valid user, home page should display. Similarly, if it is an invalid user, so right now you can easily understand and you can write your code easily when you are having this kind of flow diagrams or your design diagrams. Now what I will do, I will say that if it is, it's a valid user, if it is not a valid user, error message should display like this. Okay. Now, right, what they will do, right, once they are having this SRS requirement document, they will be having this high level design. This is a high level design. They are not doing any coding here, just they are planning how they are going to implement their application. Once it is done, then they will take this high level design as an input. Now it will come to the testing. I mean, it will come to the coding. Now developers will write the code, here they will write the detailed code. They will write the code for the requirements based on the SRS. For them also SRS is the base. Technical design documents. So here what they are doing is, right, once this high level design is over, then your developers will comes into the picture and then they will start writing the code based on your SRS and the technical design documents. Once it is done, that means your development is over, then our testing will start and our job is here. Once my application development is over, then my job is here and I will start doing my testing. That means here I will get my application, developed application. Here I will be getting my developed application. I will be getting my developed application by the developer. Now what I will do? I will do my testing. I will do the testing based on SRS, right? Test plan. What is this and all we will see later. Test plan and test cases, and make sure that your application is properly implemented and all your requirements are working as expected. Then if everything is good, then as a tester I will give the sign off. Sign off means I am done. Then it will go to production. it will go to production. And if any issues will come in the production, that will go as a maintenance. See, you can see, right, whenever if you're buying some product and if you're facing some issues, what you will do? You will make a call to your customer care, and customer care will say that I need a couple of days to resolve. What they're doing? Once any issue raised by the customer, then they will go back to the technical team and they will say that this is the issue raised by the customer. What is the solution? And then your development or testing team, they will help in resolving that particular issue. All these issues in the production will go as a maintenance. So these are all the 6 phases available in your SDLC. To develop any of the application, we need to use this SDLC, and in your SDLC so many teams will be involved to develop your application, and in that testing is one thing. That is what we are going to learn. And for this SDLC also you are having different SDLCs, like waterfall model is there and agile model is there, but at least right, but end of the day SDLC model is mandatory to develop your application. Okay, and tomorrow I will talk about your SDLC models. Fine.